What's going on, everybody? This is my WWE Night of Champions predictions video. I'll be running down all the matches and making my predictions on it. If my voice sounds a little different, it's because I have a sore throat. But I'm going to still do my predictions video. Night of Champions is this Sunday on WWE Network, and if you're stupid enough, maybe you'll order it on pay-per-view if you don't have the network. All you really need to get the network is a fast internet, and the network will play fine. It won't freeze if you have a good internet. And Night of Champions is, I believe, let's see, today's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 5 days away, or maybe 5 days away. Night of Champions is 5 nights away, as I said, on the WWE Network. I don't even know what city Night of Champions is in. I don't remember, and I didn't care to find out. But these are my predictions for the 2015 WWE Night of Champions. Up first, I don't know if it's on the kickoff show or what. I don't know if they even have a match on the kickoff show. But I'm going to just say it's the first match on the show because it probably will be. Cosmic Wasteland. Stardust and the Ascension teaming up. They call them Cosmic Wasteland. That's a stupid ass name, but whatever. Against Cosmic Wasteland and Stardust. Ascension and Stardust, known as Cosmic Wasteland, against Lucha Dragons and Neville. I predict that Cosmic Wasteland will win. It's not going to, I'm sure it'll be an okay 6-man tag, but it's not going to be great, or it's not going to be anything that people are going to remember when they look back at Night of Champions. Up next, excuse me, now my nose is stuffed up and I can't breathe. Anyways, up next is Dolph Ziggler against Rusev. Dolph Ziggler will be without Lana. Sadly, she had surgery on her wrist. Somehow, she injured her wrist in training. That's what I heard. Anyways, Dolph Ziggler will defeat Rusev. Dolph Ziggler wins. And who knows, maybe Summer will end up turning on Rusev, and she'll make out with Dolph Ziggler and join Dolph Ziggler. And the Summer and Dolph will both screw Lana. Up next is, I'll do next the Intercontinental title. This is Night of Champions, so every championship is on the line. They should have had a show of just championship matches. They could even brought Finn Balor defend his NXT championship on Night of Champions, and they could have had Bayley defend her women's championship, but no. I understand WWE wouldn't want to do that because they wouldn't want current NXT champions on a WWE main roster event. But they could have had NXT titles on the line because the goddamn pay-per-view is called Night of Champions. So I don't know why they should even put on some matches on the show that aren't even for championships. That's stupid and makes no sense. Anyways, Ryback versus Kevin Owens is up next. Kevin Owens is challenging, I believe, for his first time challenging for the Intercontinental title. Intercontinental title has really gone downhill since Daniel Bryan had to sadly give it up, forfeit the title because he got injured or got a concussion. So Daniel had to forfeit it. And Ryback got injured with staph infection. I believe he's out for like 3 weeks or something, so he hasn't been a great Intercontinental Champion. And I'm not a fan of Ryback's. People on Twitter know that, but I don't hate the guy. I'm just not a fan of him as a wrestler, as an entertainer. He's boring. But I'm going to say Ryback wins and retains his Intercontinental Championship. Having a hard time doing this because I feel like I have to spit and I can't even fucking breathe. But because I can't really breathe through my nose because it's stuffed. But like nobody, whoever's watching this, like you care, you shouldn't care. So Ryback wins, and I believe he will retain the Intercontinental title in the first championship match at Night of Champions. Now, the WWE Tag Team Championship on the line. The New Day retained against primetime players on Raw. They will face and defend against the Dudley Boys at Night of Champions. New Day are the champions. Dudleys are the challengers. Dudley Boys, I believe, will not win the tag titles yet. They only been back since after SummerSlam. I don't think they're going to win the titles after being in the WWE, after being back and returning for only a month. I don't think they'll win the tag titles. So I predict the New Day will win and retain the tag titles. And probably feud with the Dudleys until Summer Survivor Series, and then the New Day and Dudleys will probably stop feuding. So New Day retains, just like Ryback, I think, will retain his championship. Up next, I'll talk about the U.S. title match. Seth Rollins defending against John Cena. John Cena gets his U.S. title rematch, he's getting a rematch against Seth Rollins, but it's not for the World Heavyweight Championship, it's for the U.S. title only. And Seth Rollins will be doing double duty at WWE Night of Champions. He's in 2 matches defending both his titles. I predict Seth Rollins will lose the United States Championship to John Cena. I just believe that. I think it'd be stupid and the wrong decision to have Rollins retain the U.S. title and then lose the World Heavyweight Championship. I think that'd be the wrong decision, but that may happen. I'm going to just say John Cena is going to win the U.S. title. I'll probably be wrong. And maybe Seth Rollins will keep the U.S. title. So Cena becomes the new U.S. champ. Now, how many matches are on the show, because they may add an extra match that I don't have written down here. They probably will do that because WWE does that a lot. We'll probably add a bonus match that will mean nothing and put it on the kickoff show. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they have 8 matches on Night of Champions. Maybe one of them will be on the kickoff show. I don't know. Up next, the Wyatt family and their new member, Braun Strowman, and Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper, the Wyatt family, takes on Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns in a 6-man tag. Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns have a mystery partner. Who's the mystery partner going to be? I don't have a clue. I think it could be Kane returning as his old gimmick that he did in 1998. The original Monster Kane. Hopefully he returns. If it's not Kane, trying to think. I've heard a lot of rumors from people on Twitter that Ambrose and Reigns' partner will be... I can't remember or think of it. it's not going to be it's not going to be Randy Orton, because he got taken out. And he's going to be off television probably for 2 months because he's on vacation. Or he's taking a break. I can't remember the other two guys that are going to join, Dean and Roman. I can't remember who they were. And I'm sure I heard the rumors who they could be, but I forgot and I can't remember. So I just think their partner may be Kane. I'll probably be dead wrong. So Ambrose and Reigns with a mystery partner take on the Wyatt family. I predict Ambrose and Reigns and their partner will win, because the Wyatt family has basically been destroying and owning them on Raw and SmackDown. So Ambrose and Reigns, their team will win. Now, I'm going to go off here. I'm going to basically go on a little rant here about the Divas Championship match. We all know Nikki retained against Charlotte on Raw by Twin Magic. And that was a wrong goddamn decision. That was just so stupid. The finish was so shitty and awful. It was ridiculous. How whoever booked it, it was fucking ridiculous how you ended it. And I was pretty sure Nikki was going to retain anyways, but they could have done it a better way instead of doing twin fucking lame ass magic. So anyways, first off, I'm going to talk about Nikki as champion. She's been a god-awful champion, one of the worst in Divas Championship history. She's been the worst Divas champion in history, I believe. She's worse than, way worse, better champions than Nikki Bella are Maurice. She held it for a pretty long time when she was Divas champ. And she was probably even better in the ring than Nikki is. So Maurice was a better champion. Alicia Fox was a Divas champion a long time ago. Probably over 3 years ago. Or maybe 4 years ago. Alicia Fox did not hold the Divas title long, but I believe she was a better champion than Nikki. And now they got Alicia Fox following around the Bellas like a fucking little puppy. It's ridiculous and stupid. Because Alicia Fox deserves better. She's more talented than both Bella twins in the ring. She can bring it in the ring and go with any diva on the roster. So it's just stupid as hell that Alicia Fox is following the Bellas around like a little puppy dog. Alicia was a better champion. Maurice was a better champion. Layla was a better champion when she was champion for a short time. Going back to another champion that is no longer in the company, Eve Torres. She was a better Divas fucking champion than Nikki, because the WWE has screwed the Divas title, and it's basically like a piece of tin. It's anyways, this is what they've done to the Divas title. Crushed it up, threw it in the goddamn garbage. That's what they should do. They should burn the fucking thing and melt it, because it's how they have booked the Divas Championship and the Divas title. It means absolutely nothing. It means zero. They're not having your champion, Nikki, defend it for 2-3 months is fucking, that shit is out of line. To not have her defend it. And basically whoever's booking the Divas division on the main roster, especially on the main roster, because the Divas division in NXT is not booked like a joke. It's not booked bad. It's booked very good in NXT. You have, thank God. Thank fucking God, everybody. Let's thank God that Vince, because I'm sure Vince agreed to the twin magic bullshit finish, he probably came up with it. Or he agreed to go with twin magic, or maybe he agreed with a fucking writer that told him let's go with twin magic again, and Vince thought, okay, we're going to do the twin magic finish again, because that will be really entertaining and get Nikki over as a great champion. No, it won't, and no, it did not. And anybody, Triple H and Stephanie backstage at Raw, they should have spoke the fuck up and told Vince this twin magic finish is not going to work. Let's come up with something else. But I'm sure whoever was backstage, everybody was probably scared to tell Vince to change the finish, and that it was the wrong decision to make to do the twin magic finish. I guess everybody is just scared of Vince to disagree with him and tell him to do something different because it's his company, and I guess they're afraid of him. So nobody told him to change the finish, that he should change it and not do twin magic. But let's thank God that when Triple H runs NXT shows and they tape NXT, let's thank God that Vince is not in control and telling Triple H how to book the divas in NXT, because Triple H, I believe, is running the entire NXT show by himself. He's booking probably with some help from some other writer, or some help from somebody else. That maybe Regal gives them ideas, and him and Regal work together. I don't know who comes up with the finishes and all the booking in NXT. I don't think Triple H could come up with every single finish and every single booking idea in NXT. I just don't. You'd have to be like a Superman with a super brain to do that. Somebody always needs help with other ideas from other people. But Vince McMahon on the main roster wouldn't listen to other people. If they told him to don't do twin magic, he probably wouldn't have listened anyway and did it anyway, because he's an old man, and he's booking his Divas division. He has booked it, the Divas Revolution. He is booked to fail and booked to basically fall flat on its face. And the Divas Revolution, how they have booked it, basically somebody took a big old, probably Vince McMahon, somebody is taking a big old stinky shit right on top of the Divas Revolution, and now it smells like shit, and it is shit. But I guess it could start being fixed if Charlotte wins a title this Sunday. And then they start booking Charlotte as a strong, credible, defending champion, and have Charlotte next month have her defend the title on whatever, Hell in a Cell, I think is the next pay-per-view. Have her defend it on Monday Night Raws. Have her defend it on SmackDowns. Have her defend it at Hell in a Cell. I would prefer Charlotte defend it against Sasha Banks and feud with her, because they had great, epic matches in NXT. Have Charlotte defend it at Survivor Series. Probably you could do Charlotte versus Sasha Banks again at Survivor Series. You could do that again in a gimmick type match, 2 out of 3 falls or something like that. But as of now, the Divas division, the Divas Revolution, and the Divas division on the main roster is basically shit, because it's booked like shit and nobody cares anymore. The fans don't care anymore, because you have basically shit all over the Divas division with your god-awful booking of it. So Layla was a better champion. Eve Torres was, Maurice was, Alicia Fox was, Michelle McCool was a way better Divas champion, and I was not even a fan of hers. Michelle McCool was a way better Divas champ than Nikki Bella is. Because they had her defend it, and she was booked right. And all these ladies that were Divas champions were booked right when they were champion. I think Melina held the Divas title for a little while. She was a better champion. Mickie James even held the Divas title, I think for a short time, but she was a better champ. So all those ladies are basically booked better and better champs than Nikki. And for the Divas Revolution, and the entire storyline has been shit. How they have booked it. It's been crap. Putting Sasha Banks, bringing all three up at one time, Charlotte, Sasha, Becky, bringing them all three up to the main roster was a bad idea at the same time. It was a bad, fucking stupid idea. Because they could have held off debuting Becky and Sasha. But I guess they wanted Becky and Sasha on SummerSlam. They wanted them to get to work SummerSlam. So they rushed them debuting. But I would have done it like this. You could have had Sasha or Becky debut and help Charlotte win the Divas title on Raw 2 nights ago. You could have Sasha and Becky debut and help Charlotte win the Divas title 2 fucking nights ago on Monday Night Raw. But I guess whoever's booking and in control is too stupid to come up with that idea. And they didn't think of that. I don't know why they wouldn't think of that, but somebody did not. So Charlotte would have won the Divas title on Raw, and then Nikki broke AJ's record. Big fucking deal. And then you could add, as I said, Charlotte win the Divas title on the season premiere of Raw with help from Sasha and Becky because they were in NXT with her. That makes sense. They're coming to Raw. They're coming to the main roster for all three of them to get together and start the real Divas Revolution because Sasha, Becky, and Charlotte all worked together in NXT and had great matches together and great chemistry. So they come to the main roster and they get together and they become a 3-person group they become 3 of the 4 horsewomen. That would have made a lot of fucking sense. But no, somebody's too stupid in WWE to come up with that and do that idea. And then you could add, as I said, 3 of them. The three of them are the 4 horsewomen. And then later on, by Night of Champions, or maybe after it, they could have teased Bayley coming to the main roster. They could have done it in promos. Charlotte could have talked on the mic in interviews or promos and said, "We're starting a real Divas Revolution because we have a 4th person that we know of that is going to join us to start this Divas Revolution." And basically, they could have took on, if they would have brought Bayley in September or October, then they could have said and booked the 4 horsewomen as the real saviors of the Divas Revolution and to take on the entire WWE Divas roster and take on Paige, take on the Bellas, take on Alicia, take on Naomi and Tamina. So the 4 horsewomen could have took on the entire Divas roster, and they could have kicked their ass and owned them, and then they would have got over, and they would have got bigger and bigger and bigger. They could have made them a goddamn 4 horsewomen dominant faction. They could have made them just a dominant, great faction. But no, they didn't want to do that, and Vince McMahon probably has a problem with even referring to them on WWE TV. He doesn't probably even want to have any announcers refer to the four horsewomen in NXT, or from NXT. He doesn't want to probably even have anybody mention the four horsewomen because he probably was never a fan of the four horsemen, because WCW created it and NWA created it, not Vince. In NXT, the four horsemen women were never booked together as a group, but as we saw at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, Becky came out, Charlotte came out, and they celebrated and hugged Bayley, and then Sasha hugged her, and they broke characters. And I loved seeing that when they broke characters and they all stood together and did this. Because this, the four horsewomen, that matters. This matters. In wrestling, this symbol still matters. Every wrestling fan knows who the four horsemen are. And hopefully, wrestling fans know who the four horsewomen are. And as I said, they should have done that idea. Had Becky and Sasha debut, help Charlotte win the title. She could have won it. Or they could have held Charlotte. They could have held Sasha and Becky. They could have held them off TV until Night of Champions. Have them debut at Night of Champions, help Charlotte win. And they shouldn't even started bringing up the Divas Revolution word. They're saying on Raw, use hashtag Divas Revolution during this match. When they usually say stuff like that. Use this hashtag for whatever matches are going on. So people on Twitter and social media can talk about the match together, I guess. Or they just say use this hashtag Divas Revolution to get the fans involved in the show. So people want to watch, I guess, to promote the match in the show. Anyways, the Divas Revolution matters in NXT, and it was done right. It was done the right way. It was booked the right way in NXT. But on the main roster, the Divas Revolution, this is what I think of it and how it's been booked. It's been god-awful. It's been booked as a joke because the champion, they have booked their own champion, Nikki Bella, as a joke. I mean, maybe she was injured in June and July. I think she was injured with a hamstring injury. Whatever. They could still have her defend it at least once a month, but they did not. They had her go 2 or 3 months without defending the fucking Divas title. So that title, right now, as of today, and at Night of Champions, the Divas title means nothing and nobody cares about it. The only people that think it's a meaningful championship are Bella marks. And crazy Bella fans that are marks of Nikki Bella, and if they think she's a great champion, and if they think the Divas title really means something and matters, then they are fucking insane. Because it doesn't matter, and it doesn't mean a damn thing, doesn't help. I mean, the title is worthless. It's just absolutely worthless. So that's my thoughts on the Divas Revolution. They should have Sasha and Becky debut and join Charlotte, because that makes more fucking sense. They are 3 of the 4 horsewomen, you dumb fuck. Vince McMahon, I don't know why you didn't come up with that and do that idea to start the Divas Revolution. And then later on you could have Bayley, still as an NXT champion. You could have Bayley show up on Raws and SmackDowns. That's only 2 days a week. And on the weekend, Bayley could fly back and do NXT house shows. So they could have added Bayley to the 4 horsewomen and had Bayley join Becky and Sasha and Charlotte. And that would have been awesome. That would have been a great storyline. And that would have been a start of a real Divas Revolution, having 4 of the top women's wrestlers from NXT on the main roster, basically taking over the main roster. And one of them, I would prefer it be Charlotte, because she has a look and she has an it factor. I'd prefer it be Charlotte be the Divas champion out of the four horsewomen. She could be the Divas champion because she could be like the leader of the four horsewomen. Just like her father, Ric Flair, was a world champion and was the leader of the four horsemen. And Becky, Sasha, Bayley, all fantastic wrestlers. Great, great workers. Just like in the Horsemen, Arn Anderson was a great worker. Barry Windham was a great worker. And whoever else, the other guys that were in the Horsemen, didn't really matter. Later on, in the Horsemen, in the last years of the Horsemen, Chris Benoit, I don't like what the guy did. I hate it. But the guy's a murderer. But Chris Benoit was a great worker and fit in the Horsemen well. Dean Malenko also did. Steve McMichael never did. He was a joke. So, now my prediction for the Divas Championship match. Nikki Bella will retain the Divas title. I believe she will win and retain the Divas Championship. Not that it matters. A lot of fans are probably totally fed up with the Divas title and the Divas Revolution storyline. They're probably totally done with it. Who knows? A lot of people probably won't even, when the Divas title match comes on, a lot of people probably will turn it off and not want to watch it because they're so pissed off and angry at the Twin Magic finish and the bullshit that happened on Monday night. So I'm going to say Nikki Bella retains because I don't believe Charlotte will. If Charlotte does, that's great. That's a step. At least that's a step in the right direction for the Divas division. If Charlotte can win. And it'd be great if Ric Flair would come out. Or if Ric Flair would come out with his daughter Charlotte at Night of Champions and hand her a foreign object. Like throw her in, you could have Flair throw in Charlotte brass knuckles. Like Flair used to use them in his matches and then he'd throw them in his tights and hide them. And then Charlotte could use the brass knuckles and become the dirtiest player in the game like her father to win the Divas title and take it from Nikki. That would be a good finish, I think. Have Charlotte use brass knuckles, knock Nikki out cold, pin her 1, 2, 3, win the title. But I doubt they do that. Because they're too stupid to come up with something like that. Or you could have Sasha. If Charlotte wins, I don't think Charlotte will win unless unless Becky or Paige Helper win. Or you could have Sasha turn on Team Bad and leave Team Bad and help Charlotte. And you could even have Becky, maybe not Becky. Sasha could turn on Team Bad, help Charlotte, because they were part of the Four Horsewomen. Even though the Four Horsewomen group was never together on television, they were never together as a group on NXT. They just took pictures together doing this, and they just celebrated at NXT Brooklyn doing this, but all the fans know about the Four Horsewomen that started in NXT. Even though they weren't a group, they could get together and everybody would mark out and be excited and pop. And people would actually care about the Divas Revolution if they brought in the Four Horsewomen to get together on the main fucking roster. But I doubt they do that. Probably because Vince McMahon won't allow it. I'm pretty sure he's not a fan of women's wrestling at all. So, whatever. Sasha and Bayley may help Charlotte. They're only going to help her if they start the Four Horsewomen group on the main roster, and I fucking doubt they're smart enough, and I doubt they do that. So, Nikki will retain, and, what the hell else was I going to say? about Nikki Bella as champion again. I don't think she could even work a 20-minute. I don't think she could survive and work a 30-minute Iron Women's match that they're going to put on October 7th on the network between Sasha and Bayley. They're having an Iron Women's match. And I don't want to call it Iron Man because they're not men. They're two women. So I'll call it Iron Women's match. Nikki could not survive a 30-minute match, especially wrestling in NXT. That crowd would absolutely shit all over her. And they would probably chant, do a lot of entertaining chants against Nikki and boo her out of the fucking arena. I don't even think Nikki could survive a 20-minute match. I don't think she could. But we all know that NXT Divas can because they have done it. Month after month. Or live special after live special, the NXT Divas have absolutely always delivered. And their matches have gone 20 minutes. Or 18 minutes, 15 minutes. Or probably over 15 minutes. Have all the Divas matches been on the live specials, and some of them probably have gone over 20 minutes. So hopefully Charlotte wins to try to take a step in the right direction for the Divas division, to try to save it and basically just try to dig it out of the 6-foot hole that they're in right now. But I see Nikki retaining. So I'm going to say Nikki retains. On to the main event. Seth Rollins versus Sting. I'm happy to see Sting on Night of Champions pay-per-view because I'm a fan of his. Been a fan of Sting since I was 7 years old. So for a really long time. Sting, I don't think is going to win the world title. If he does, I'll be happy. And I'll be surprised and pretty shocked. And I'll be happy for Sting because he deserves, before he retires and hangs his boots up, he deserves a WWE Championship run. If it's for 1 month or 2 months or 3 months, Sting deserves a WWE World Heavyweight Championship run before he goes into the Hall of Fame and retires. So, but I see Seth Rollins retaining the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins will win, I predict. And then Seth Rollins will keep the World Heavyweight Championship, but I think he will lose a U.S. Championship as I predicted. These are my Night of Champions predictions. I'll go over them real fast. I got Ryback defeating Kevin Owens to retain. New Day retaining, defeating the Dudleys. Seth Rollins losing the U.S. title to John Cena. Seth Rollins retaining the World Heavyweight Championship against Sting. Dolph Ziggler defeating Rusev. And possibly having Summer Rae turn heel on Rusev and go with Ziggler while Lana's out. That would make sense because Ziggler could cut a promo on Raw the next night saying, I had to go with Summer because she's giving me what I need right now, and Lana's in a hospital, or Lana's out injured in a hospital bed, not giving me what I need, or something like that. Cosmic Wasteland against Lucha Dragons and Neville. Cosmic Wasteland win. Wyatt family against Ambrose and Reigns and their mystery partner. I believe Ambrose Reigns' mystery partner will win. Nikki versus Charlotte. Nikki will retain. Those are my Night of Champions 2015 predictions video. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a good Wednesday night, everybody. Bye for now.